Me avisas.
Hay veces como que le hago, voy a apagar el teléfono y lo voy a volver a prender a ver. Ok. We
Listo.
are live on YouTube.
Perfecto. Voy a reclamarte el juego.
I'm gonna try to, voy a tratar de prender otra vez Instagram y si no, le damos.
Listo.
Are there people in the waiting room?
16 personas.
Okay.
17.
Okay.
Sí, están poniendo.
Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Estoy esperando que esto ta. Última intentada, si no, no fuimos. Okay, let's go to the presentation. Oh no, or bring people in.
Listo. Dale.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to our class. Petra, Gianni, Jessica, Delilah, Alexandra. I'm so happy to see you. Alicia, hi. Nice to meet you. If you could please, guys, open the cameras for a little bit. I just want to know who's here. I want to know who joined us. It's different when I see faces versus names on the screen. I see Willow, I see Petra, I see what's your name? P Dat? Is that your name? What's your name?
Paulina.
Lina, nice to meet you. Okay, that's great. Welcome to our class, How to Stop Toxic Reactions so we can become secure parents for our kids. Let's start with something. I always like to start all my classes and sessions with a clear intention. So let's start with a clear intention. If you could please type in the chat, what do you want to get out of this time with together? What do you want to get out of this class? Let me guide this intention. So I would love to see parent-centric intentions in the chat. What is the difference between a parent-centric intention, and a child-centric intention? A parent-centric intention is rooted in self-responsibility, is rooted in self-reflection, and is geared towards us helping ourselves be the parents our children want to be. So Petra, if you could please mute. So this is what I'm looking for. If you could please type a parent-centric intention of what you want to get out of this class in the chat, that would be great. Let me give you an example of two. So a child-centric intention not rooted in self-responsibility might be, I just want to know how to get my kids to listen to me because they're so disrespectful. We're focusing and we're placing the responsibility on who? Our kids, right? So a parent-centric intention is different. It's about us. I want to feel a lot calmer. I want to be a secure parent and I want to have better communication skills. So my children cooperate a lot easier, or so I have better connection and communication with my kids. If you were to type a parent centric intention, what would it be? Learn how to react without anger. I want to feel more at ease with my kids and not yell all the time. Learning how to navigate difficult moments with the kids. Yes, I want to respond when I'm frustrated and less explosive, more patient, feel calmer when providing them instructions. Okay, those are great parent centric intentions. And the reason I started with this is because that's the frame of mind that I invite you to have the rest of the class. We are going to do a lot of soul searching and self reflection. And that's the mindset where we need to be for this class. Okay, so just to give you what we're gonna do, we're going to share a presentation, and basically I'm going to walk you through the class. We have Federico, please raise your hand. He is a member of HIC parenting team. He's going to be here helping us with the technical aspect of this class because I am technology clueless, so I need help with that. And then, yeah. Okay, so Federico, could you please share the presentation? Let's do this. I need to drink water. Nicole, I want to be able to respond effectively without yelling. That's a great intention, Nicole. So, what is this class? I'm going to walk you through 2 steps to stop reactivity so we can become secure, connected parents for our kids. Otro, por favor. I'm so tech clueless that I don't even pass my own slides. Federico does that for me. So these are the 2 steps, and then know that this is the class, and then bye-bye. No, these are the 2 steps, and then we're going to break down this class as we go. Step number 1, understand your unique toxic generational pattern so it doesn't affect your parenting today. So in step number 1, yes, we are going to travel to the past because that made who we are as parents today, and at least it influences a lot. And you are going to reveal what your particular parenting pattern is. And step number 2, which is section number 2, I'm going to show you 3 steps to start moving away from a reactive pattern towards a more secure, connected pattern with your kids. Now, these 2 steps, that's exactly what we work with our coaching clients for months. You are going to live with all the information. Otro, por favor. Okay, you are going to live with all the information, but if you need help on the application of these steps, I'm going to tell you at the end how you can book a free one-on-one session with one of our advisors in HIC Parenting to help you customize your plan and show you how we can work with you and the skills to develop in your particular situation to become a secure parent and to break your particular reactive pattern. So out of this class, you will leave with great information. And if you need help on the application at the end, I'm going to tell you how you can book this free one-on-one session, moving towards parenting coaching. So once you have this information and you're applying it in your parenting every single day, you will feel calmer and more in control. You'll be proud of how you handle challenging moments. Your kids will feel safer and more loved, and you will see yourself as a secure parent. I don't say this, but our clients say this. And so far, we have seen 14,151 clients going from overwhelm and reactivity to secure parenting and peaceful dynamic with their kids. Most of them have children who are neurodivergent or who have a special situation at home. So if you feel like, I wonder if this will work for me, because my child is ASD or PTSD or sensory processing or ADHD, or I am the one who has all these needs, I wonder if it's going to work for me. Well, I'm telling you right now, if it worked for all these parents with very particular circumstances, I'm confident it will work for you only if you work it. If you don't work it, it won't work for you. I'm just very curious. Are you a parent who is raising currently a child with a neurodivergent brain? Maybe autism, ADHD, or maybe you suspect. I'm very interested. I really want to know. Otro, por favor. So this class is for you if, number 1, if you are a parent or a caregiver who wants to have a healthier dynamic with your kids. Number 2, You are open to reflect on your own per-generational pattern from self-compassion and responsibility. Number 3, you want to learn more about how your childhood shaped the way you care for yourself and others. And number 4, you want to break away from these patterns so you can be a secure parent. Strong-willed children. Okay, Michaela, this is for you too. Even if you have neurotypical children, yes, for sure. Because ultimately, this class is not about the kids, it's about us, the parents. So regardless if you have a neurotypical child or a neurodivergent child, because this is a parent-centric class, focus on you and your responses, this class is for you. Otro, porfas. Every time I say otro, that means pass the page, Federico. A little disclaimer. This is a class with information. This is not coaching. This is not counseling. This is not therapy. This is not mental health advice. Take this as if you are having a really nice chat with a parenting coach who has helped a lot of people. It's just an informative class that once you apply this information, you will see so many changes in your family. But yeah, that's the disclaimer I want to say. Just take it, take the information, and then, I don't know, I think I'm me estoy enredando yo misma. Untangling myself up. Just, the disclaimer is just that it's just for informational purposes. Okay, otro. So these are the 3 parts of this class. Part number 1, this is the teaching portion. Part number 2, next steps if you need direct support. So I'm going to show you how to book this free one-on-one session. And part 3, if we have time, Q&A opportunity. Okay? Otris, por favor. I'm just very curious, who is new to us? If you've been just following us for a little bit, maybe less than a month, if you just stumble upon our social media and you're new to Marcela, to HIC Parenting, could you please say in the comments, I'm new. I want to say hello, introduce myself. Okay, Alisa, Sonia. Okay, Leslie, Nicole, a lot of new people. That's amazing. So if you're new to me, you might be wondering, who is this lady to tell me about my generational patterns? So who am I? My name is Marcela Collier. I'm a certified parenting coach, former therapeutic care provider, and founder of HIC Parenting Education Agency. My team of coaches and I have served 14,151 clients, move from reactivity to parent their children with peace through our coaching services, products, and I'm very happy to be able to serve you today. Besides that, otro porfis. You've been following me for okay. So if you're an OG, say I'm an OG. If you've been following me for a little bit, Jessica's like Marcela is crazy. If you've been following me for more than a month, say it, please. I want to know who's been here for a while. And then besides my career, I am a mom. I am a mom of twins. One of them is neurotypical. And he's, how do you say? He's in the Genius program, in the gifted so he's gifted. And I have a neurodivergent son. He's gifted as well. And he's autistic. He's ADHD. And I was a foster mother for a child who is now an adult. And he has ADHD, PTSD, mood disorder, many things going on. And he's now an adult. And I've dedicated all my years being a mom, 12 years of learning about how to break generational patterns. I broke my cycle, and I'm now on a mission to help as many parents as I can to break their own cycles. I provided therapeutic care for 10 years, And I've been a certified parenting coach the last 5 years. Otro. You've been following me for a year? Okay, that's great. I've been following about a year, but this is my first class. That's great, Willow. I'm so glad that you're here. So that's my story. And then I want to tell you a little bit of our client stories before we enter with these processes. Why? Because you might be thinking like, I don't know if this is gonna be for me. I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm autistic. I don't know if this is for me. So I want to show you a little bit of our clients to tell you that it could work for you. Her name is Zulay. She's autistic, ADHD, military mom, solo parenting for months and months on end. Latino, grew up with the chancla, grew up with traditional Latino parenting. If that's you, raise your hand. And her daughter is autistic and ADHD. When she came to HIC parenting, she didn't even believe she could be a good mom. And she was drowning in reactivity. And her daughters had so many meltdowns. And this is her story once she integrated the 2 steps that you're going to learn today in her family with the help of our HIC coaches for about, I think she was with us about 14 weeks. Por favor, pon el video. What pulled you to say yes to this work, and how do you feel now?
Desperation. I was very desperate for some type of support. Additionally, from being on the spectrum, my husband is in the military, and it's been night and day. Everyone here just made it so simple and so much less scary to do. And it turned my parenting around. A big help. I don't know how I would have done it without the group. I don't know how I would have done it without the group. It's been a lifeline for me specifically. And now I'm happy about being a mommy. And I feel like even with all of the issues I have medically, I am the mommy I've always wanted to be.
And that was the moment when I started crying and I couldn't record the testimonial anymore. So, Federico, I think we can stop the testimonial because it was just me being a crying a lot. I cry a lot with my clients when I hear their stories because it just touches me so much. I saw Zulay's progress. What if this were you? How would you feel if this were you? And just not in 2 weeks, not in 2 years, not in 3 years, but this year, how would that feel? If you go from feeling overwhelmed and frustrated, not knowing what to do, feeling like failing, to believing you are a secure parent and having a great connection with your neurodivergent kiddo, how would that feel? Or with your strong-willed kid? I would feel so much happy. Otro, por favor. And like Zulay, so many parents from all over the world. Valerie, she has another child with autism. Or Kimberly, who is a highly sensitive parent raising highly sensitive kids. Or Nicole, who had a spouse who was not on board. Or Ferouz, who is a single mom. All of them broke their cycle once they integrated the 2 steps that you're going to learn today. They did it with our help in coaching in HIC parenting, and they started with this class. Otro, por favor. I need to leave, but I'll watch the recording. Okay, Vanessa, no worries. So let's start with the class. Who is ready to start? Say me. I'm ready. I think everybody's here already. So step number 1, understanding your unique toxic generational patterns so it doesn't affect your parenting today. We are going to do a lot of soul searching, so be ready. Be ready for it and allow the emotions to flow. If you feel like crying, cry. If you feel like laughing, laugh. This is not a class of taking notes kind of class. This is a class to feel, not to learn. Not to learn, not to write notes and then leave the class as you came. You are going to live differently. Otro, por favor. We are going to feel a lot of things. Allow the emotions. So let's start. Let's start unpacking our generational patterns. Who was raised with chancla, with spanking, with yelling? Being loved when your parents were loving and kind and in a good mood. And when they were not in a good mood or when they were fighting with the world, then you saw the scary parents. I could raise my hand. I raised too. And I don't blame my parents for that. They did the best they could with the resources they had, and that was the reality. So it is not a covering. I'm not covering the mistakes. I'm saying I see your needs. I see you did your best. And at the same time, that's why I lived. I was raised with a lot of yelling, spanking, arguments between parents. Willow, I see you. I'm very curious. What did your parents or caregivers tell you when they were angry? What did they tell you? Could you please type it in the chat? What did they tell you? Remember, this is not a class to take notes. Leave your notes for another class. This is a class to interact here in the chat and to feel. What did your parents or caregivers tell you when they were angry? Stop crying. You just want what you want. It's always drama with you. I will hit you because you didn't listen. Wow. How did you feel? How did you feel when you received all those messages? Unheard, hurt, not loved. Small, Alisa. Wow. Kimberly, unheard. Sarah, learn not to cry. Wow. Laura, not understood nor valued. Do you remember, Laura and all of you, do you remember your parents or caregivers being playful and calm? Do you remember? Nope. Alisa, no. Tiffany, no. Do you remember your childhood? It's okay if you tell me no. If you don't remember your childhood, that's a defense mechanism of your brain to block out a childhood that was traumatic. Sometimes when we live traumatic events, we block them out. And if the whole childhood was traumatic, it makes sense. Do make sense to me. When they were playful and calm, if you remember it, how did that feel to you? Laura, how did that feel? Marisol, how did that feel? Some things I remember, some I don't. They never what? Sue me. They were never like that to me. It felt weird and nice at the same time. Because it was rare? Was it because it was rare? I see it. Otro porfis. They were calm and playful. Well, in my circumstances, I do remember my parents being calm and playful, but only when they were calm between each other. If they were in conflict, then they were in conflict with me too. And so that was what I lived. Now, I surveyed you guys about what you want. What do my people want? And this is why I got to have a close relationship with my children, to be calmer, to have an open, honest communication. I want to tell you something. If you've been thinking this, have you ever thought, I wonder if I could ever get there if I didn't receive it growing up? Have you ever wondered that? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. But the first step towards getting to this desire is to know how the way we were raised influence the way we relate to ourselves now. Because the way we're relating to ourselves, that's how we're relating to our kids. Let's unpack this. I promise you I'm getting somewhere. Otro porfis. I truly thought I turned out fine until I had kids. I was a well-rounded adult. I thought I was kind, patient, easygoing, go with the flow. But when I had kids, all these things started to come to the surface. The rage, the anxiety, the doubtfulness, the beliefs, the feelings, I'm not good enough, I'm failing. Why can't you just listen to me? Do you relate to this? What is your default reaction when you don't feel heard by your children? It's okay if you say spanking, it's okay if you say yelling. I just want you to practice honesty with yourself and just say it. Spanking, yelling, yelling. Okay. Before we move forward, I want to do this. You are a good parent. All these reactions don't reflect who you are as a parent. Let's keep unraveling this because you are going to discover why you're reacting. And it's not because you're a bad parent. Otro porfis. I get frustrated and talk to them and give them time to think about the conversation. Okay, Maria. And when you feel frustrated, from that frustration, how do you react? When you are at the end of your rope, how do you react? That's where I want you to go. So there are some parents who get reactive and they yell and they snap and they threaten, they warn, they take things away. All that is part of active reactivity. And there is another side of the coin, which is also reactivity, which is shutting down. Shutting down is part of a reactive pattern. And shutting down comes from deep helplessness. Why do I even try if nobody listens to me? And then we hand the kids to the spouse, and it's kind of like we're playing hot potato with the kids. That's the shutdown reactive pattern. Jesus, help me talk today. What is your default reaction when you don't feel heard? Shutting down? Giving your kids to the spouse, playing hot potato with your spouse with the kids, or reacting, snapping, yelling, or otro porfis, or a combination of both of them. You are not alone. Absolutely all the parents we've served in coaching have one of these two reactive patterns or a combination of the two. All of them. Otro. Combination. Okay. And then you start thinking like, why am I reacting this way? And let me know if you've thought one of these three. Number one, I react this way because my children won't listen. Number two, I react this way because I'm so tired, exhausted. Number three, I react this way because I don't have enough tools. Which one? 1 and 2, 2 and 3? Tools? 3, 1 and 2, 2 and 3. Okay. Nati, the ones who have not engaged in the comments, open the chat right now. I want to know all 50 of you. What is in your mind? Okay. I'm going to challenge you. And I'm going to encourage you to practice open-mindedness. I don't know if that's a thing, a word, but I just made it up. Practice being open-minded here because that's the beginning of deconstructed what we think is the reaction, the root of our reactions. And I'm going to walk you through what's really true. All of these things, I react because the kids won't listen. Are we placing the responsibility on who? The kids or on us? I react because I am tired. Outside circumstances, there are so many things, so busy. Outside circumstances, we're placing the responsibility on outside factors. I react this way because there must be some tool out there that I don't know yet, that once I know it, I'm not going to be reactive. Where are we placing the responsibility on outside factors? Remember when we started with a parent-centric intention? All of these things are outside factors, and they play a part for us to feel tired, to feel maybe perhaps overwhelmed. But the reactivity, the shutting down, the yelling, the snapping, the reactivity is not an outside factor. A secure parent may feel tired, may feel overwhelmed, may feel angry with the kids, and may not have all the tools. They still remain secure. Because reactivity is an inside thing, and it's not your fault either. Let's keep unraveling this. I think at that moment it's hard to know it's coming from within. It's not until I step back and practice awareness. I see it. Otro. Jenny said, I feel trapped and overwhelmed. Everybody give a love to Jenny. I'm so glad that you're here, Jenny. I just heard you. Everybody giving love to Jenny, please. And then because we place ourselves in a weaker position. That's what it is. When we don't have control over our reactivity because we are placing it on outside factors, we feel out of control. And then things like this come up. I feel like I'm failing. I fear my children will be scared of me. I feel like I'm not good enough. What's been in your, like when you are in that frame of mind of thinking about your reactivity, what's coming up for you? Otro, por favor. How do you feel after you react? They are better without me. Alisa, I want to give you love, Alisa. How do I give you love? Yeah, you're not alone. So many parents, especially the neurodivergent ones, tell me every single day in coaching, I'm here because I don't think my children deserve a parent like me. You're not alone. And this is the reality. Chronic reactivity or shutting down, which is another reactive pattern, does not come from external factors. It does not come from your children. It does not come from your daily business. It does not come for outside tools. It comes from subconscious narratives and beliefs we are not even aware of, downloaded in us in childhood. Otro, por favor. Jenny, so much guilt about the hurt I'm causing them. Yes, I feel they're better without me. I'm doing so much better now, but I have to fight those patterns. Jenny, I feel like they're better without me is not a feeling. I feel like I'm failing as a mother or as a father is not a feeling. I'm feeling like I'm not doing enough or I'm not enough is not a feeling. I feel like I no matter what I say, nobody listens. It's not a feeling. I feel like I'm a bad parent. It's not a feeling. Anything that comes after I feel like is not a feeling. Natalie is looking at me like, Marcela, what are you trying to tell me? It is not. All these things, Lily, I constantly feel like I'm not doing it right. That's not a feeling either, Lily. All these things, otro, porfis. All these things are beliefs. Beliefs that you have about you. And they did not start, I'm failing did not start when your daughter dropped the cookie and you snapped at her because you just swept the floor. The I'm not enoughness did not start there. The I'm failing did not start when you yell at your son, just sleep, and then they fall asleep, and then you're believing I'm failing. They're going to sleep again with the last memory they have today is me yelling again. That's not a feeling, it's a belief, and it did not start there. It started in childhood. So remember that I told you this is not a class to take notes. Well, this is the only slide I would say, yes, take notes or take a screen. Better yet, don't take notes. Take a screenshot of this because this is kind of like the academic portion of this class. And then post it on your stories, tag me at High Impact Club. I love to see that you guys are engaged here in this class. Listen to this. There are 2 stages of development. 2 stages, according to, I don't know how to pronounce the name. Jans Piaget's theory of cognitive development. If I mispronounce it, I'm sorry. Don't judge me. We have the pre-operational stage of development and the operational stage of development. Stay with me because this is going to be the explanation of where your beliefs are coming from. Before 7 years old, you were in your pre-operational stage of development. What does that mean? That your prefrontal cortex, which is in charge of logical processing, is not developed yet. It hasn't started developing yet. That's what I'm trying to say. So we filter all our experiences in our operational stage. Alicia, your precious baby that you're holding right now, she's filtering all her experiences through her emotional brain, which is her limbic system. So it's not what you tell her, it's not what your parents told you in that stage of development, is how you felt with them, always. It's always filtered through how I feel, not what I think. So when your parents yell at you, if you were in your pre-operational stage of development, you did not have the prefrontal cortex to make you make sense of that experience and put logic to it. My mom yelled at me because she's a single mom and she's tired. She's been with everything all day and she's just at the end of her rope. That is not there yet. You filter everything through, I'm not seen, I'm not heard, or the opposite. I'm loved, I'm seen, I'm heard, I'm connected, I matter, or I don't matter, I'm not connected. Everything is filtered through the limbic system. There are no beliefs yet in the pre-operational stage. But something incredible happens when you turn 7 years old. Listen to this. You started your operational stage of development. So what happens at that age? Your prefrontal cortex started developing, and it will end developing until, you develop your prefrontal cortex until mid-20s. So if you're a 20-year-old parent, you're still developing your brain. In your brain. If you're 39 like me, okay, you're lost. No, mentiras, no. But if you're 39, you have a fully developed brain. So what happened at 7? You take all the emotional information from your pre-operational stage of development and you went from I felt connected, I felt seen, I felt loved to I am worthy. I am good. I am loved. You went from I feel disconnected, I don't feel loved, I feel unheard, I feel hurt to I am a failure. I am not good enough. I am bad. And you run with those beliefs until you have kids. But how come, you might say, Marcela, but Marcela, I told you I was a good rounded adult until I had kids. All those beliefs stay dormant until you have kids. Why? Because they come with their pretty little faces that look like you and they show you all over. In that pre-operational stage of development, feeling everything you felt. So those beliefs start to come up. I am failing. I'm not good enough. My voice doesn't matter. I am bad. Why did we go through all this? Because your kids' behaviors did not create the reactivity. It was your belief. Number one. Number two, your tiredness, your busyness is just an effect of your beliefs. If I remember I coached a mom who believed she was not good enough because growing up, she was already all the time compared with her twin sister, who was the exceller, the trophy child, etc., and she wasn't. So now she was trying to homeschool because her twin sister is homeschooling. And then she was subconsciously competing with her sister. And then the homeschool experience was full of stress, competition, power struggles. And those power struggles with her kids in the homeschool experience and the reactivity during homeschool and the staying up so late every night preparing for the next day, preschool day. And then getting to preschool day and already being so exhausted and drained was not created when she said, I'm going to homeschool. It was created in childhood when she was compared with her sister and she needed to compete to gain validation, attention, and acceptance from her caregivers. Are you starting to connect the dots? If it's still a little blurry, say blurry. If you're starting to get the first stages of connecting dots, say connecting dots. Connecting dots. Okay. It's okay if it's blurry. We're going to keep unraveling this. Reactivity is not from outside circumstances. Beliefs create feelings, and feelings create the outside circumstances. Given there are some outside circumstances that are not created by beliefs. If I have a newborn, the newborn is going to wake up every 2 hours and I'm going to be sleep deprived. So not all outside circumstances are created by beliefs, but the reactivity itself is. But inside circumstances, sorry. But things that are happening within us. Otro porfis. It's okay, Diana. I'm going to give you another example if it's blurry. So let me give you this example. There is a parent who grew up believing she is bad when she has boundaries. Because growing up, every time she tried to stand up for herself, she was shut down with punishment and yelling and spanking. So she grew up with this belief of, I am bad when I have boundaries. Now she is a parent and she was at the grocery store with her daughter. And then she told her daughter, we're just gonna get groceries. We're not gonna get something else. And the daughter, yeah, she started tantruming over a doll. But I want this doll, I want this doll, I want this doll. And the mother tried to hold her ground. And then the daughter started saying, you don't love me. You love more my brother. You give more gifts to my brother. And the I am bad when I have boundaries flared up. And she gave her the doll. She gave in. And then she paid, and then she got in the car. She needed to go back home to make dinner because they had soccer practice that day. But then on the way home, she got a call from the dad. Hey, daughter, I need you to come. I need you to do this for me in the kitchen, whatever. Get the trash out. Hi, Dad, but I'm already on like overtime and I need to get home to make dinner to take the girls to soccer practice. Okay, no worries. I will do it myself. And then the I am bad when I have boundaries flared up, came up again with that guilt tripping statement. And she said, okay, I'll go. She went, she helped the dad. She came back home already so late, so late, that she was rushing to get dinner done so that she could take the girls to soccer practice. Now the girls could not find her cleats. And she flipped her lid. She became reactive. What triggered her reactivity? The girls not finding the cleats? Her having to rush to make dinner to get things together? The rashness, the not finding the cleats, the giving in at the store, the trip to the dad's house, all her experience was created by one belief. I am mad when I have boundaries. So do you see how beliefs create your world? What you believe about yourself create your everyday life experiences. And then this parent came to coaching. Nighttime is so stressful. I'm usually running late, running on fumes. How do I get my daughters to be more cooperative? And then she found out in coaching that it wasn't about her daughters. We did a whole work on her belief system. She rewired it from I am bad when I have boundaries. She learned to have healthy boundaries with herself, with her kids, with her dad. And she became a secure parent and a secure person. She started enjoying the nights with her girls. And things were not a struggle anymore. She still had a little bit of busyness. She learned to ask for support because her own belief, I am bad when I have boundaries, impair her from looking out for support. and her family dynamic changed. Otro porfis. So we need to restructure these beliefs in order to be a better parent. So iPhone 4, what's your name? Your beliefs about you as a parent. Denise, or Denise? Denise? Sorry, Denise, right? Denise. Denise, your beliefs create your feelings. Your feelings create your responses. You internalize those responses and it feeds your belief system. And yes, it's the beginning of it. So when our clients come to coaching with us, that's the very first few weeks of coaching. Because this is the thing, Delilah, and all of you guys, Natalie, we could give you tools on how to respond to kids when they cannot find their kids, when they're not doing their homework again, when they are whining at the store. We could give you tools, but if you're still applying all those tools from those beliefs of, I am bad when I have boundaries, or I'm failing, I'm not good enough, those tools are not going to work. Otro, por favor. So let's talk about, let me show you a little story before we move into the section 2 of this class. If you've gotten value so far, say me. If no, say no. Okay, cool. I'm so glad. Okay, Alicia, me. Sonia. Sonia, look, let me react to you. So Naomi, she has 3 kids. She has 3 kids. When she came to coaching, she was so frustrated because she was the kind of parent who read all the books, who did all their parenting courses, very child-centric courses though. And she felt that she couldn't get through her kids, that she was still reactive. But then once we did, somebody said, do we do DBT in coaching? We do coaching, we don't do therapy. But we do take elements from it to help our clients. Okay, Marcela, ADHD brain. My ADHD went somewhere else. Okay, yes. So she was very frustrated because she was trying to apply these courses and these tools and they were not working because she was still reactive. And those child-centric tools were not working for her because parent-centric wise, she hasn't worked on herself yet. And this is what she said. Once she worked through her generational pattern, once she gained peace with her own belief system, and once she learned the 3 steps that I'm going to show you in a little bit to show up as a secure parent with her kids. Naomi, por favor.
I had been a part of another parenting program, and it was a lot of the words, do this, say this, act this way, and I was getting very frustrated because none of it was working for me. Like, I was really, really trying, and I knew what I wanted, but I had no clue how to get there. And even with the tools that they were giving me, I was just like, I can't. Like, I'm trying to do them, but it's not, like, my children are not responding the way they say the kids will respond. And I don't know, like, how to, like, it was just a lot of me, like, I'm just not doing it right. I'm a terrible mom because they say this works and it's not working. Being able to join this has just been so enlightening for me to be able to understand and just feel the security within myself. That's been the biggest shift, so that I can show up, for them, being able to learn. And I think the biggest key, and this is what I've
told all my friends, like, go and learn. It's been so transformational for me. So
And how do you feel now?
I feel very, I don't know, empowered, I think is the biggest thing for me.
I have to do to clarify something because somebody said, "Do you do therapy and coaching?" We don't, and this is the difference. A lot of our clients, by the way, do both. They go to therapy and they come to parenting coaching. Okay, so therapy is a lot more broad and is hyper specific. It's a lot more broad in terms of covering you, you as a person, and is hyper specific in terms of addressing your wounds or your traumas, and it's usually a very long process of years and years. Tell me if you've been in therapy for years and years, say me. So a lot of our clients, they come and they've been in therapy for a long time, and it's a very slow process, and it's geared towards healing your childhood wounds or your wounds, your trauma, etc. Parenting coaching is different. Parenting coaching is very specialized to the parent-child dynamic. So we don't cover the whole of you. We cover just how your patterns from childhood or from your belief system, etc., how your own patterns is influencing the way you're relating to your kids, and we help you rewire the way you relate to your kids. So it's hyper specific to the parent-child dynamic. We do go to the past to see what the patterns and the wounds are, but we don't stay there because we are not oriented to heal you from those wounds, but we will make them conscious. And then from there, we will help you show up differently to your kids. So that's basically the main difference between parenting coaching and therapy. A lot of our clients do both. There are many other clients who stop doing therapy and then they just do parenting coaching. You're the only one who knows what you need. Okay. Otro porfis. So let's go to step number 2. I feel like I'm getting STEMmy. My autism is kicking in. So step number 2, how to start healing, how to start rewiring the way we show up for our kids. So what we lived growing up doesn't transfer to them. How to do generational healing. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'm going to give you 3 steps that we work with all our coaching clients, Naomi and who else have I showed you? Zulay and all our coaching clients. So yeah, let's enter step number 2. Number two. Otro porfis. Let's start with this exercise. Close your eyes. Delilah, Kimberly, everybody who's at home. Delilah, yes, I'm in bed already. I'm gonna close my eye. So close your eyes. If you are driving, close one. Don't close the 2 eyes. You're driving. If you are cooking, lower the heat, maybe, so you don't burn the lunch. So close your eyes. We're gonna do this exercise. I want you to go to the moment those beliefs were created. When you started that operational stage of development, when you started recollecting all the emotional messages you received, and you're already in your operational stage, 7 and older. Place yourself in a specific age. How old were you? How old were you? If you're typing, that means your eyes are not closed. I can see you. What was happening at that moment? Were you at home? Were you in the classroom? Were you in your tia's house? Where were you? What was happening? if you were to remember to bring to your awareness the exact words you heard from that adult, what were those words? What were you feeling? Maybe you were feeling confused. Maybe you were feeling lonely. Maybe you were feeling like you were feeling disappointed. Maybe you were starting to believe it doesn't matter how much I try, they won't see me. What were you feeling? Let's go a little bit deeper because this Leo, Delilah, this Leo, Laura, Marisol, Alexandra, they have needs. What were you needing? You were to see that the small Delilah, the small Nicole, Sumi, what were you needing? Now let's just imagine you, the adult, the adult, coming to meet that girl, that boy. And you're going to tell that younger version of you exactly what you needed to hear to feel safe. What would it be? A hug. Mm, I see you. It's not your fault. You are good enough. I love you. You're not always going to feel this lonely. This will pass. I'm here for you. You will find your support system. You will have people who will love you. You will have little hands who will reach out to you and tell you, Mommy, Daddy. And you will be their whole world for them one day. I see you. Play with me. Talk to me. Open your eyes. Thank you for this moment. Let me give you all of you. Love. Let's go to the next one. Otro. I have to say otro because if I say next one. Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Your children need the same things you needed growing up. They express in the most unlovable ways the same needs that you have. If your child were here right now, what would you tell them? You can trust me and tell me anything. I see you and love you. They need the same things, even when they are behaving in ways that you're like, oh, for sure, if my mom sees my son doing this, they will be judging me. Even in those moments, they need the same things you needed growing up because they are your mirrors. That's why they trigger you so much. I love you. You can always tell me anything. I'm sorry. Otro porfis. You are enough. It's not your fault. So I'm going to share with you the 3 things you needed as a child to grow up as a secure, emotionally healthy individual. And basically, these are the 3 skills that we develop in our coaching clients to be secure parents for their kids. Otro porfis. Growing up, instead of yelling and spanking and sending you to your room and taking your things and throwing away your stuff and telling you you're dumb and telling you that you're too much or whatever, instead of all that, you needed an adult who understood your needs beneath your behaviors, an adult who had mindset skills. Mindset skills is the ability of understanding your mind, what's going on in your mind, in your nervous system. What were you needing? You needed an adult who at least took the time to understand your perspective. Those are mindset skills. Your parents reacted to your flashing lights, which is your behaviors. Bam, 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 behaviors. They reacted to the behaviors and they missed the needs. And that's why you created all those limiting beliefs. You have now the opportunity to gain mindset skills so you can see your children and their needs and not just their behaviors. And when that happens, they will feel a lot more seen, understood, and they start getting you start seeing cooperation a lot faster and easier because everybody is on one sheet of music. I have a question. What is one thing that you can start doing if you knew exactly what your children needed every single time? There are some parents who tell me, I don't go out anymore because I don't want to deal with the tantrums. But if once they gain mindset skills, they know how to support their children anytime. And they start going out a lot more frequent. Ask them what they need. There are some other parents who tell me, before I gained mindset skills, bedtime was a struggle. It was always 2-3 hours or 1 hour. And it became a lot faster because now I know how to respond what they need. What is one thing you can start doing once you gain mindset skills? Otro porfis. Skill number 2. You needed adults who knew how to settle you down when you feel agitated, scared, angry, instead of punishing you for having big emotions. This is emotional regulation skills. Emotional regulation, I think I saw someone when in the very beginning of this class, when I asked, what is your intention? I saw someone, I want to stop being angry. Who else wants to stop being angry? Raise your hand if that's you. Natalie, Delia, me. Okay, I'm going to challenge you again. Sorry. Stopping our feelings is not emotional regulation. It's emotional suppression. And that's why you react more. Because when we feel angry and we try to not feel angry, we are denying our feelings, we're gaslighting our own selves, and then we feel a lot more overwhelmed. Now we go from feeling angry to feeling overwhelmed and feeling angry or feeling angry, and then we get angry and react a lot faster. Yes, there is a recording, Sarah. Emotional regulation is not being angry. Emotional regulation is not stopping our children from being angry. Emotional regulation is the skill of learning how to be angry. Is the skill of learning how to guide and be with our children through their anger so they live it in safety. And this is a skill that we develop with our coaching clients. You don't react. No, let me backtrack this. Your reactivity your reactivity is from your belief system, but it escalates when you gaslight yourself. Emotional regulation skills is not gaslighting yourself anymore, it's knowing how to feel. And this is a process that we do with our clients every single day in coaching, even the neurodivergent ones, even the autistic ones, even the ADHD ones, even the ones who have a lot of trauma, even the ones who've been in therapy for 20 years and the therapy is still not working. We can develop these skills. Otro, porfis. Number 3, you needed adults who educated you on social emotional skills to express your needs instead of punishing you, isolating you in a room, yelling at you, or spanking you. Discipline, and I'm going to challenge your thinking all over again. I'm sorry. Discipline is not stopping behavior. Emotional regulation is not stopping feelings, and discipline is not stopping behavior. If you're like, what? Tell me a little bit more. Type it in the comments. Tell me more. I'm not getting it. And that's why we go to social media and we go to blogs and we go to books and we try to get all these tools with a clear understanding of how to use those tools because we don't even know what discipline is. That was me back in the day. I was getting tools to try to stop behavior, and that's not discipline, that's punishment. Discipline is not stopping behaviors. Discipline is developing skills. So our children have the capacity to behave differently. Children don't hit, throw, bite, fight their sibling, break things because they want to be bad, but because they don't have skills. They don't know how to play peacefully with their sibling. They don't know how to wait patiently. They don't know how to manage their frustration when you tell them no, and that's why of all the behaviors, we take about 4 weeks with our coaching clients developing this skill. This is the skill of positive discipline. So you stop using tools you see online to stop behavior and you start using them to develop skills. Children don't do better when we tell them to stop. They do better when we tell them how to do better. Is that making sense? If yes, say yes. If no, if you say it's blurry, say blurry. Otro, porfis. Blurry? Okay. Blurry. Let me tell you the story of Roberto. Maybe it will help you, Willow, if it's blurry. Sumi, it's blurry. Yeah, I know. When we're very new to these concepts, it's hard. But believe me, that's the way. So Roberto, he used to believe that he needed to stop his daughter from having all those tantrums and hating. And then he believed in yelling, and then sometimes he spanked his daughter. He didn't love spanking, but sometimes he felt like she needed it. Does your spouse feel and think the same way? Like sometimes children need a good old spanking? Or maybe do you still feel like a little bit tacting in you that you feel that they need a spanking? It's okay if you say yes. I hope it will be I'm at work and have to step away, so I'm missing a lot. It's okay. One day he spanked his daughter one last time, and then he saw her fear. He saw that she was getting scared of him, and he said, enough is enough. he asked his wife to like, "What, HIC parenting, I like, can we seek help?" So he became one of our coaching clients after attending this class with his wife. And then he went from trying to shut down behavior and stop it with yelling and spanking to developing skills in his daughter. And this is his story. Porfis.
So before I started the parenting coaching, I spanked my daughter I spanked her twice. I remember one time it broke my heart. And I was like, oh my gosh, she is scared of me. After that happened, I said, this does not work. And that's when I was like, okay, I saw your videos on Instagram and I was like, I really resonated with your message. So I understood that. And I was like, okay, I need to do better as a parent.
Roberto, how do you feel in your parenting after all the work here in HIC parenting with Holly, with the program?
I'm a different parent. I don't know how that, like I tell that to Elena sometimes. We're sitting down and I'm like, babe, I'm a different parent now. And I'm like, I'm proud of us. I think 2 weeks ago, a week ago, I'm like, babe, I was like, I'm proud of us. I'm like, we're different parents. I was like, if we didn't take the class, we'd be completely different. And this really, affects the trajectory. Like if I didn't do this, where would I be in 20 years? That's what I kept thinking. Where would my relationship with my daughter be in 20 years? And so these the things that I've done with the coaching with HIC, like, I'm like, oh, I'll be friends with my daughter. She's going to love me. She's not going to be scared of me. She's going to come to me with problems. I love my dad. I'm like, wow.
I have a question for you. If nothing changes in your parenting right now, if everything stays how it is, 2 years from now, where do you see your relationship with your kids? If absolutely nothing changes, if it stays how it is. That will screw up my kids. Okay. Thank you, Alexandra, for your vulnerability, distant and worse. For the parents who are commenting, let me give you love again, love. A lot of arguments, defensiveness. I will dim his light, and he will be used to hearing me apologize and not change. Wow. Kimberly. Everybody giving love to Kimberly, please. Because Kimberly, I've heard this often. I'm very good at, like, my parents never said sorry, and I'm good at that, but it got to a point that I don't know if they believe me anymore. I hear so many parents telling me that every single day. You're not alone. I don't want to lose his trust, and I want to be his safe parent, safe place. I'll mess up my kids. Rebecca, Brittany, Sumi. If that is you, this is the day. You are here for a reason. You took time out of your day because you needed to be here. Because you're a good parent. You just need to develop 3 important skills. Perhaps 4. Number 1, to gain a clear understanding of your unique pattern. So you know what you're bringing to the table. And the 3 skills are emotional regulation skills. So you learn to feel, and you can teach your children, model it to them what feeling is in safety. Mind-sight skills. So you understand the needs beneath all those behaviors, and you give them what they need and support them instead of shutting them down. And 3, the skill of positive discipline, which is educating your children on tools and skills to have positive behavior instead of shutting down behavior. Those 3 skills was what helped Roberto and all our clients break their cycle and become secure parents. You are on time. Now time is of the essence because your kids are not going to get any younger and they grow up fast, but you're still on time. If you're still raising your kids, you're still on time. Otro porfis. So commit to show up differently and consistently. Otro porfis. I have 2 questions before we go into the invitation and the answering questions. Do you think you can raise emotionally healthy children if you are a secure parent? Delilah say yes. Do you think that you can raise emotionally healthy children if you learn these 3 skills to give your children what you needed growing up? The skill of emotional regulation, the skill of positive discipline, and the skill of mindset. I have an invitation for you. Otro porfis. Otro. No, el de que está antes. So on this class, I showed you the roadmap. I didn't hold anything back. You have all the information. Now, information alone would not do anything. What really will break your cycle is the application of it. I have a question. Do you like where you are at by trying it on your own? If the answer is, I need support, I have an invitation. To the invitation, por favor. Pasemos. If you are ready to take a step towards having the rest of 2025, feeling you are a secure parent, believing you're a secure parent, feeling empowered, feeling connected to your kids, by developing these skills that I told you, by breaking away from those belief systems that are not supporting you. My invitation is to book a free one-on-one assessment session with one of our experts in HIC parenting. This session is for someone who is not looking for information, because the information was given on this class. It's for someone who wants to start working on the application and on the integrating and developing these 3 skills in you so you can break your cycle and become a secure parent for your kids. What to expect from this free session? This is not a coaching call, because coaching is, we already have a clear picture of your family dynamic and we have a plan. This is an assessment where you are going to gain a lot more nuanced clarity about your particular pattern. We will give you a recommendation of what we see will work for you and your family. And you will decide if you want to continue with us as a coaching client or not. Whether yes or not you become a coaching client, you will leave with more nuanced clarity and a more clear roadmap than what you saw on this class, because this class was a lot more general. The session is more for you. So to book this session, all you have to do is scan the QR code on the screen right now, or go to the link on the chat. The first thing that you will see is a questionnaire. Answer it with detail. Why? Because we take those questions and we study them. Commit to show up, to not ghost. Why? Because we only have 7 spots available, only 7, and it's 44 of you. So go right now, book your session, and commit to show up. If you have a spouse, bring them on the call, because we assess the entire parenting dynamic. If you don't have a spouse, then how are you going to bring a spouse to the call? I mean, just come yourself. You come, and we will assess your parenting. If you have a spouse, bring them to the call. If your spouse is in the military or somewhere else, bring them to the call. It's a Zoom session, y'all. I mean, we can do a three-way call. They don't have to be next to you. And this session is going just to give you the clarity that you've been looking for so desperately with TikToks and Reels and books. All these things are great, but at the end of the day, it's just general theory and information. It doesn't talk about your Sophia, about your Santiago, about your Ashton, about your Ashley, about your Ethan. Doesn't talk about your kids, about you. The session will. Okay, so if you have a question, yeah, you can screenshot it. Yes, Lily, you can screenshot so you can save the QR code on your phone. And then later on, if you don't know when your spouse will be available, you can book your call. It will be booked out after this session. It always is. But you can enter the waiting list and then we will call you on the order that you enter the waiting list. You signed up? Yeah, that's awesome, Alexandra. That's great. You booked yours, Delilah. That's awesome. Okay, great. There is someone who asked me a question earlier that I really wanted to. No, you didn't ask a question. You were it was Willow. Willow, could you please open your mic? Willow, can you say hello? Open your mic. I want to ask you a question about something you said. Willow is trying to open her mic. Federico, please help her. Ayúdale a Willow que abra el micrófono.
Listo, ya puede.
Okay, Willow, could you please say hello? I don't know if you're still here. Maybe no. Maybe she left or he left. I don't know if it's a man or a woman. Okay. So there was somebody else who, when I asked, are you clear or are you blurry? Like there was somebody else besides Willow who said blurry in all the skills. I want to give you clarity for the ones who said blurry. Hold on. Who else said blurry? Blurry. Okay, Kimberly. Kimberly, Kimberly Dolfo, could you please open your mic? Hello?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, can I see you?
Sure.
I'm very
Hi.
curious, Kimberly. You said in one of the comments that you felt like it was still a little blurry for you understanding the concepts of this class. I want to answer your question. Tell me.
Well, my son is 2, and I understand like right now in his developmental stage, he's learning how to like gain the skills to not be so impulsive, but it's just like also he's 2, and there's like so I know he doesn't know how to emotionally regulate things, but he's starting to like hit other people, and I understand what you're saying, but I just don't know how to apply it to a 2-year-old.
Oh, okay. So when you say I understand what you're saying, I said so many things in this class.
Oh, like
What was it specifically?
like where I have to learn how to emotionally regulate myself, and then I'm gonna teach that to him.
Mhm.
But like I don't know how to do it with the hitting. Like I don't
Okay.
know how
So
to.
when he's hitting you, how do you feel?
Like he doesn't hit me. It's more like hitting other people. Like he's starting
Okay.
to hit other kids.
So when
And
he's
I know
hitting other kids, how do you feel?
like I'm teaching him somehow to be aggressive.
That you're teaching him to be aggressive.
Like
Okay. Like it's your fault that he's
yeah,
aggressive?
like as if like there's something I'm doing, like I'm
Like it's
spoiling him somehow.
like it's your fault. You're blaming
Yeah.
yourself. It's
Yeah.
your fault. Ah. What else? Besides, it's my fault.
And he's like, I live with my parents, and we have like our cousins come over, and they're a spanking family. So
Okay.
it's like when you hear everyone say like after a certain point, like he keeps hitting, and they think the answer is to spank. It's hard to
They think the answer to hitting is hitting more.
yeah, and like it's just
Okay.
it doesn't work for him. Like it's not working.
Mhm.
So I don't do it, but like I can't come up with a solution that is stopping him from the hitting.
Stopping. Okay. So you want him to stop hitting.
Yeah, and
Because
like
he doesn't stop hitting, you blame yourself and you say it's my fault. You know that it's my fault is not a feeling, it's a belief. You're believing things are your fault. Your son's behaviors is your fault. I'm curious about something. Is this belief, has this belief came up somewhere else? It's my fault.
yes,
Where?
um, like with my parents,
Oh,
where I feel like um they're very nitpicky. So
okay.
like if I don't do something right, like I'm doing something wrong.
Okay. So you grew up believing things were your fault when things didn't go the way they expected to go.
Yes.
And because they expect your 2-year-old to have the impulse control to regulate his emotions and control his body, and those are their expectations, and you're believing that every time I don't meet my parents' expectations, it's my fault. It makes sense to me why you believe this. When you see your daughter hitting, he's not meeting your parents' expectations, and then you see your belief. It makes sense why emotional regulation is so hard. You make sense to me, Kimberly. So just to give you a very microwave answer, I mean, I could be with you in 10 weeks in coaching to unravel this, because I see you are parenting from your inner child, parenting from that belief of everything is my fault. And when things don't go considering my parents' expectations, then it's my fault. Even if logically I know a 2-year-old doesn't have impulse control, I still believe it's my fault, because
Yes.
everything has been my fault all my life with my parents. Makes sense. So if I were to work with you in coaching, I would start first with you gaining peace with that part of you that believes everything that goes wrong in your life is your fault. And once we overcome that, then I will work on emotional regulation skills. So when that belief flares up, you know how to turn it around to a more expansive belief that will serve you at that moment. Because your current belief is impairing you from being emotionally regulated at that moment with your son. Okay? And once we work towards that skill, then I will develop mind-size skills for you to know where your child is at and his needs at that moment. Just a little golden nugget. Your 2-year-old cannot not hit when he's upset. So how do I stop this behavior? He won't stop. As long as he gets upset, he will hit for a few more years until he starts developing impulse control. Okay? But what we can do in coaching is to help you develop your mind-size skills so you can get ahead of his triggers and you can start meeting his needs before he gets to escalation, so the hitting is not as often. That's different from stopping hitting. You see the difference?
Like
Yeah.
being proactive.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And then lastly, what I would do with you in coaching is that we will train you in healthy boundaries. So, because you grew up not, based on what you're telling me, not knowing how to set those healthy boundaries with yourself, with your family, with your parents, possibly not with your kid. So when this happens and the spanking family comes over to visit, you feel secure and empowered to set healthy boundaries and still feel safe inside.
I need that.
Kimberly, did you already book your free assessment session?
Yes, it's on Friday.
Okay, because what I told you is just a little tip of the iceberg. We're gonna be with you a full hour to keep unraveling what's beneath all these things and what your reactivity is, the type of reactivity you have. Okay? You got yours in the waiting list. Okay. Oh, okay. Federico, ya todo se agendó.
Acaba de abrir para la otra semana.
Okay. So we got booked out this week, and Federico just opened a few more spots, but for next week. So Jasmine, try to go again and book right now your one-on-one assessment session. And for the rest of you, before we booked out next week, please go right now and book your free one-on-one assessment. I think you're right that all of the emotional reactiveness comes from childhood. I will book my one-on-one now. Yeah. Yeah. So before I move on to my next meeting, that is in 10 minutes, I have a gift for you guys. For you, because you stay with me until the end. Vamos al regalito. For all of you who stayed with me until the end, if you're watching the replay, you missed it. I'm sorry, it's not for you. This is just for the 36 parents I have here. I want to gift you our coping strategies guide. Why? Because this was a parent-centric class. It was focused on you. So I know I didn't give you any tools on what to do, what to say with the kids. And this is it. This coping strategies guide is a child-centric tool with scripts and with different things that you can use to help your kids calm down big emotions. To access these coping strategies, guys, there are two ways. Everybody's way is that you go to our website and you purchase it for $57. Or way number two, you stay with me until the end on this class and you can claim it like this. Go to live.hicparenting.com/feedback. Federico already placed the link in the chat. Fill out the satisfaction survey about this class. Let us know how this class could help you moving forward in your parenting. Hopefully give us a 5-star review. That would be awesome. And we will email you access info to this coping strategies guide. Okay? And this bonus expires tonight. So make sure that you do that today. Fill out the survey, give us a great positive review, and then we will email you, not today, maybe tomorrow or the next day, the coping strategies guide. For the ones who did not book their one-on-one assessment, I'm so curious, what held you back? If you could please open the mic or just type in the chat, what was that thing that held you back? You guys got quiet. Is there a link? Yes, the link is in the chat right now. The satisfaction survey is in the chat. Maybe everybody's filling out the survey. Finance is unemployed currently. I see you. Okay. where I'll be able to afford the class. Okay. I'll take coaching. iPhone 4, I did share my background in the beginning of this class. Did you stay in the beginning? Like, did you come early? Maybe you came in late. But basically, I'm a certified parenting coach. I'm a former therapeutic care provider. I worked for 10 years with children with high behavioral needs and psychiatric diagnosis. I am been a certified parenting coach the last 5 years, and I am the head coach of HIC Parenting Education Agency. HIC Parenting is not just me. We are a group of certified parenting coaches, and we have served 14,151 clients plus. We did that count like a year ago through our coaching services, Stop Reactivity, and Parent Their Children with Peace. We only help parents who want to stop reactivity. So that's the only problem we solve. So if you've been wanting to stop your own reactivity and parent with peace, this is us. Most of our clients are neurodivergent, or they are raising neurodivergent kids just because those the kind of client I attract, just because I'm neurodivergent and I have an autistic son. And yeah. You don't know if your husband will be willing to be part. I see it. Okay. So book your call and ask your husband. And one thing that you can tell him is, this is what we need to raise emotionally healthy children. Is it important for you that we raise an emotionally healthy child? So if the answer is yes, why wouldn't be open to come to the call? I want to show you before I leave, because I have a meeting in 5 minutes now. Her name is Bo. When she came to coaching her husband in the military, he was not on board. But they were struggling in parenting, and he tried to follow along the gentle parenting tips that she saw in social media, but he was not really into, I'm going to do parenting coaching. But she started alone. And once the husband, military guy, once the husband saw that their son responded to her a lot easier without yelling, he came on board. And this is their story. Before you started Parenting with Understanding, before you enrolled, how was your family dynamic with your son, your husband's parenting?
Prior to finding Parenting with Understanding, we're just going off videos, off of articles we found and techniques we saw on social media platforms, and it wasn't coming together. It just wasn't. We would see improvements in some places, and then we'd come to a whole different scenario and we wouldn't know what to do. But I did it first, and then him seeing how I approach situations with our son is what really made him come on board fully. Because he noticed that when my son would like gravitate towards me, would listen to what I was saying, as opposed to when my husband would come into the room, now their dynamic between them is completely changed.
Bo and most of our clients, they're not rich. They are working class families who made this a priority. Many of them had to sacrifice to be here. But one thing that I see every single Friday when we graduate clients, they don't think about investment anymore. It's like when I did my IVF, I paid like my IVF was expensive, and I don't think about that. Now, the pricing will depend on your needs, how long it would take us to help you get there, considering your own dynamic and needs. So on the assessment, you will know that. But coaching is a service, and it's at least of a few months. So it's not going to be in the hundreds for sure. But the question is, once your children are raised with secure parenting, and you're not reacting anymore, how would that feel to you? So only you know if this be worth the stretch or not. From my own experience, when I started this work many years ago, 12 years ago, I was so lost. My oldest one was putting holes on the wall and I didn't know what to do. I was the shutting down, reactive kind of parent. I was never the yeller parent, but I was shutting down a lot. I'm feeling like I was leaving him alone with his feelings and unable to cope with my own feelings. And once I became a secure parent and I saw that boy going from reactive, putting holes on the wall, to connected and expressing his needs, everything was worth it for me. And the money was not a thing anymore, because the results outweighed the investment that I made at that moment to access parenting coaching. I want to thank you, but let's go to the main room. Sheena, hi, I can hear you. So open your cameras for a little bit. Open your cameras. Sure. What happened? Open your cameras. Marisol, Lily, Delilah, Jan, Brittany, Nati, Karen, Susana, Julia. I want to tell you something. You guys are great parents. You guys are committed parents, because not committed parents, not good parents would not be here for a full 90 minutes with me, learning how to be secure parents. I know it's in you. And if you need help, needing help and accessing help is not a sign of failing, it's a sign of growth. The thing is that when it comes to parenting, we have this weird belief of, if I ask for help, then that's me admitting I'm failing. But it's just beliefs that we had from the way we were raised. When we were told that moms are supposed to be the know-it-alls, the being able to do everything and not needing help. But let me tell you something. If you need support, you're still a good parent and you're not failing. I cannot wait for you to see your transformation, and I cannot wait for your testimonial to be part of my free classes one day, to encourage other parents to become secure parents. Thank you for coming, and bring your friends and family members and your coworkers and your enemies to this class. We all, even the coworker who annoys you, she needs help with her parenting. We all need help. And thank you for being with me today. I'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Ciao, Brittany. Ciao.
Oh.
Ciao, ciao.